Hey everyone, today I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I'm gonna try to give you a commentary on one of my hunts on Afflicted Nargacuga. I'm gonna try to give you some tips, some recommendations, and some insights on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So before we start looking at the run, we're gonna look at my setup. For my buddies, I will be taking a palico and a palamute. For a bow especially, having a palico is very important, and specifically a fighter palico. Most bow builds don't have 100% affinity, so having rousing roar, which gives you 30% affinity for 1 minute, is a very welcome buff. Go fight wind gives you extra stamina reduction, and power drum is a straight up damage increase, so this palico for bow is very good. Now if you didn't know, palamutes in Sunbreak have been buffed a lot. The new Silk Binder skills for the palamutes does a ton of damage and a ton of status damage. Now I have to say I'm not an expert on palamutes, so there's a chance that there is a more optimized setup, but what I have on the screen is already very strong and it does a ton of status damage. Now for the build, we have a very specific build for Nargacuga. Since Nargacuga's head is not a weak point, we're not gonna use weakness exploit at all. Now you could try to slot in critical eye to get your affinity up, but I chose to forgo the affinity completely and just stack damage skills. Now if you're wondering why I use bubbly dance, you can check my last video and I explain why this skill is pretty good now. For the food skills, I ate for Dango Fighter, Dango Marksman and Dango Booster. Now we're gonna take a look at the video, but just so you know, I did not take my palamute because he was doing too much CC and it was hard for me to show you what I wanted to show. So for this run, because I'm using the Mail of Hellfire, I'm gonna be using the red scroll only. So quickly before the fight starts, I switch to the blue scroll and I buff myself with Bold Boost. This lasts for 1 minute and 45 seconds and then I switch back to the red scroll for the rest of the fight. Now pay attention to this, this is something you're gonna need to watch out for the rest of the fight. When you see Nargacuga reposition like that, there's a very high chance that it's gonna jump on you instantly. If you see him hop around like that, you need to be ready to react instantly if he jumps on you. This can seem like it's very hard to react to, but if you're ready, you should be able to dodge at the right time. He can also do a charge or throw spikes with his tails after he repositions himself, but those moves are easier to react to. So if you see him reposition, be very ready to react if he jumps on you. Also, you will notice, but I don't get out of my way to hit the afflicted spots. If they're in front of me, I will hit them, but most of the time I just go for the head. Okay, look at this, he's gonna reposition, I'm instantly ready to react if he jumps at me. When he does this charge, it's kind of awkward, but all you have to do is learn the dodgeball timing. So right after this, he's gonna do one of his big attack, and you're gonna get a call out from your hunter saying, hey, watch out. The wind up is very slow and it does not track on the first jump, so you can just literally walk away. Depending on how close you are, he's either gonna do a charge or a jump. Here he did a charge. Here's what it looks like when you're far away enough. One thing he tends to do a lot is the spin. Usually he does 2 spins, but it can happen that he only does 1. No matter if he does 1 or 2, the spin is a very long opening, so you can do a lot of damage during this recovery. Now one more time, notice how I only go for the easy to reach red spots, and I don't go for the ones that are hard to reach in the back, unless they're directly in front of me. Okay, it looks like we're about to get our first afflicted topple, so this is where you're gonna get a lot of free and safe damage. Also, one thing you'll notice is that I try to time the moment I run out of stamina for when it stands up. And when I'm out of stamina, I just sheath and put a trap. That allows me to regen all my stamina and keep having a safe opening. That's usually something you can use on a lot of monsters. When you're out of stamina, that's a good time to put a trap. That lets you regen your whole stamina and that gives you a long opening. Now, usually after the afflicted topple, the monster is a lot less dangerous. But there is one thing you need to watch out for, is that their speed is greatly reduced. So that sounds like a good thing, but that can mess up your timings. So you need to be aware that the monster is going to be slower, so you need to dodge a little bit later. When you're getting invaded, that's a good time to refresh your buffs, including your dash juice. Astelos is particularly a good invasion because it inflicts Thunderblight, so that gives you a free KO on top of the damage that it does. Now in this run, he did not do his double tail slam, which is a bit odd because he tends to spam it usually. There are 2 ways to deal with the tail slam. The best way in my opinion is to learn the timing for the dodge bolt. And for that, you just need to be aware that there's a little delay between the first and the second tail slam. But once you get used to the timing, it's actually pretty easy to evade. If you don't know the timing, you can try to roll, but I feel like it's safer to learn the timing and just parry the whole move. So I think we covered most of the important things on Nargacuga. The rest of this hunt, there's not much happening because he's almost dead and there's a lot of CCs, so there's not much to talk about. So I'm now gonna show another hunt that I did with my Palico and my Palamute this time, so you can have another example on how to deal with this fight. And keep in mind that this is not an optimized run by any means, this is just a casual hunt that I recorded for the purpose of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a new type of format for me, so if there's anything I can do better, go more in depth, if that was useful at all, let me know in the comments and I can see what I can improve for next time. Alright, see you guys next time.
You're my best pal. Mine to command. That'll do for now. You listen to me now. See ya. I feel awesome. You're a lifesaver. I placed a trap. Now's our chance. That's a wrap.